trying to find how, trying to find where, trying to find where to place my body. Just don't know. Now there's just this weird gap. This is absolutely the most awkward part of filming videos. Okay, so for today's video, I've come up with an idea. I've been thinking a lot about social media, about Instagram, about how these things affect us. One day, as the conceited human being that I can sometimes be, I'm a little self-absorbed. I was creeping on my own Instagram, okay? I'll just admit it, I was creeping on my own Instagram. I'm not ashamed, I'm not ashamed. I started looking at some of my photos, and then I had this thought. A lot of my most liked photos where like I looked really good and I was posed and like it was set up. A lot of those, looking back, I kind of just like remembered where I was in life, and this has like the most compliments, like the most comments on any photo that I've ever taken, like thus far, and yet in the photo, I was probably going through one of the hardest times of my life. We all know that social media allows us to create our own little narrative for our life and makes it look the way we want it to look. So I came up with this idea today, and it's a little fun, it's a little deep, it's a little more than small talk, which I love. Basically what's gonna happen is I'm going to pick photos from my Instagram that have been my most liked, like within probably the last 3 or 4 years. We're gonna look at them, and I'm gonna tell you the truth about what was going on in my life behind that photo. You know, like you see the photo of me, but can you see what was going on in my brain? No. Because if you could see that, you probably wouldn't have liked it and you probably wouldn't have commented, okay? Just mind my nails, you know, just mind them. Don't pay attention to them. They're a little chipped, they're a little angsty, they're a little wild. It's fine. Let's just get into the video. Maybe you look at my face. Look at my face. Look away from my nails. Okay, let's start. So some of these are gonna be from high school, which if you knew me in high school, this will probably open your eyes a lot to what I was actually going through, and probably the fact that everything you thought about me was like a lie, because I was really good at pretending to be happy when I wasn't. So the first photo I want to look at, this is so embarrassing. This photo had 258 likes, which at the time, that was probably a lot for me. It still is a lot. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying. That's still a lot of likes. This photo was posted on April 20th, 2017. So 420, we love that for me. What's this one? This one of me just having a great old time, just a grand time. I'll put it up on the screen here. So this is me in Florida, okay? At that time, I look really happy, or you can't even see me, but I was like twirling around. It was a great time in my life. I was on vacation with my friend Olivia, and we were just having a freaking blast, or so you'd think from this photo. This would have been after I had jaw surgery less than a year later. I think this was on spring break in 2017. I still had my braces on. I was just in a really bad spot in my life at that time. I was considering leaving the high school that I was at because they weren't gonna allow me to graduate early, which really sucked, and I wanted to get out of school as soon as I possibly could. I think people had this idea, and I seemed so nonchalant in the photo, and I seemed like, oh, I'm just living my life. But in reality, I was having a lot of body image issues at that time, because when I had my jaw surgery, I lost a lot of weight. And then when I started to gain weight back, that really freaked me out. And so I was kind of like maintaining some really unhealthy eating habits, and I was really sad, and I still had my braces on, and I was so insecure. And I think, I don't know, this photo screams someone who isn't insecure, someone who doesn't care, someone who's just living life, and yet it was the complete opposite. I was probably at one of my way more insecure points. I just wanted to get my braces off. I wanted to stay that size, but I was gaining weight, which was healthy because actually I should have been gaining weight to my original weight, but for some reason that really freaked me out at the time. Okay, I think this is the first photo that ever broke 300 likes, which was a huge deal for me, which is so stupid thinking about it now, because I'm like, who the freak actually cares? But it's this photo of me looking incredibly dramatic. I don't even know if you can see that. In New York City, my favorite place. And I'm kind of just like chilling there, wearing my favorite Adidas. And I just had a really stupid caption on it, but I'll put it here. This is the photo right here. And this photo got so many freaking comments. Looking back at where I was, I remember this day. I was going to New York City, and it was just a really weird time in my life. I think at this point I had left the high school that I was going to. I was going to a high school like an hour away from my house in Delaware. I lived in Maryland, and I had left that school because I wanted to graduate early, and I had this whole plan, and I was like, I'm gonna graduate early and I'm gonna take a gap semester and I'm gonna go do this crazy thing with my life. But then as soon as I left school, it was this really weird transition of like, what am I even doing with my life? Like kind of in and out of like this toxic situation, and it was just a very weird time. I was super depressed, and I don't use that word lightly. This was like me starting to really kind of fall into depression. In this photo, I think I just looked like I didn't care. I looked like I was loving life. Like, oh yeah, I left high school, so let me go live my life traveling like I've always wanted to do. We were here with the last photo, and now we're like here. It's going down. Like, Maeve's really enjoying life. She's having so much fun. Which some days were really good, but I'll be honest, like most days weren't. My relationship with God definitely wasn't where it should have been, and I wasn't where I should have been, like mental health wise, and I refused to ask for help. So that's that photo. Next photo I posted that I want to talk about, and this one's kind of, I guess, a bigger deal because we're getting really into something a little like way worse. In this photo, it has 323 likes. It was posted on December 20th, 2017. It's when I announced that I was moving to New Zealand. It was one of my senior photos. Here it is. So I'll put it here, but I'll also... My brother took this photo of me. I was having my senior portraits done, and in the photo, like, you'd look at that and you'd think, wow, like, look at this girl. She is so unbelievably happy. Like, she's on top of the world. Like, the comments on this one were so encouraging because everyone, you know, like, they're excited for you. They're excited for you to move on and live your life and like do this crazy thing, and they think you're happy. But the truth is really behind this one, and this one is really, really sad to me because I looked like I was at my happiest, but I'll be honest, this was really, really close to my lowest point. Like, this was kind of my breaking point. I had been in and out of like this really depressive state for the last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months. Right about to graduate high school, I was taking like double the course load in order to get it done. And I would sleep, I would lay in bed until like 1 o'clock, like every single day. And my mom, like, she knew something was going on, but she was just trying her best to like encourage me, like, to get to the finish line, because that's where she knew I wanted to be and that's where I wanted to be. But I was having the hardest time getting there. My life at this point, to every one of my followers, looked really, really good, and to all my friends, like, except for maybe a select few who really knew what was going on, they would have thought like, yeah, Maeve's doing really well right now. She's thriving, like, she's really involved in church, she's doing this, blah, blah, blah. And like, in reality, I was definitely at my lowest point. I was just sad all the time. I don't know, I guess you just start to really question like what the point of life is when you sleep like all day, you get your work done, and there's really nothing else beyond that for you. Everything about this photo, 100%, was a lie. I look back at this and I felt so awful because I'm like, why wasn't I asking for help? Like, why wasn't I telling anyone what was actually going on? Like, rather than posting this photo where, as far as anyone else knew, I looked like one of the happiest people on the planet. The next, and I think maybe the most important photo I want to talk about, is this one, which I posted January 3rd, 2018. This is right before I was about to move to New Zealand, and I was really excited, and it was sort of like my end of the year post, like 2017 was so good, blah, blah, blah. What I said in this photo on the caption was pretty honest, and I'll put that right here so you can see what the caption was. Again, like, I said something about like how the year taught me independence and perseverance, which was really, really true, but it's really sad that it taught me independence. Like, at the time, I was like, yeah, like, whatever. Like, this year taught me independence because I learned how to do things on my own. When in reality, that's not how life should be, and you shouldn't live trying to do everything on your own. You shouldn't live having to fake everything. And at that point, I was faking everything. I was actually at GCU, and I was deciding what college I wanted to go to, and GCU ended up being what I picked in the end. And I thought I was actually gonna go there the next year and study nursing, but that was just like a practical plan. And it kind of ended up, obviously, that's not at all where my heart was. And shout out to all the nursing majors out there because you guys are freaking killing it. But it turns out that just wasn't for me, okay? This photo just kind of sucks. I just wanted everyone to think that I was perfect and I was doing fine and I was thriving, because that seems to really be the culture at this point in time. Or at least, especially during that year, the culture of like everything that was happening was like independence, like you got this, do it on your own, blah, blah, blah. So I thought to myself, like, I have to do this on my own. And I can't tell anyone that I'm struggling. And as long as everyone thinks I'm doing fine, then I'm fine, right? Like, that's fine. Fast forward a little bit, Maeve Cooney moves to New Zealand, and she posted this photo, which, looking back at it, it's kind of weird for me to think about this photo because I'm like, I don't really love that photo of myself, but I think it definitely described the season I was in. I had just moved, I had made new friends in New Zealand, started my DTS, and the smile that I had in this photo was genuine, and it wasn't too big and it wasn't too small. It was more so like this. Okay, like I'm feeling happy right now, but I don't even know how to confront what I'm dealing with. And I very much at that point in time had decided like I can no longer hide what I'm struggling with, and I have to talk about it, and I have to invite other people into that so that I can get better, because if I don't ever talk to anyone, I can never get better. If I don't invite other people into the darkness and like expose it, then how am I ever expecting God to meet me there? I have to be willing to take that step. So that was the very beginning of a journey of me learning to sort of walk that out and take my own faith and walk in that, rather than like feeding off everybody else's faith around me or what everybody else said my faith needed to look like. Like this was my relationship with God, and at this point I was choosing. And this was really my last shot, I think, a genuine happiness. If I hadn't had that wake-up call from God, I really don't know that I would have. I don't know where I'd be right now. Let's just put it that way. Sorry, well, this was really depressing, so maybe we just do a little dance, have a little break in between, because I'm really sorry that I'm putting you through this right now, but we're gonna get to a little happier part right now. This post, ba-doom-doom-doom, 251 likes, posted on June 1st, 2018. Mixed feelings here because all my friends were graduating back home, but I was here in New Zealand and I was, oh, hello? Hello? It's me, hello? Yeah, I'll put that right here. That's me and my friend Jessie Chua. She's from Singapore, graduating my DTS, which was a freaking blast. Like my smile in that photo was 100% authentic. There was not a thing in me that was really sad. Like there were things that I was still working through, and I was still learning to kind of like work through anxiety and all of that. But right then, my joy, everything that was present on my face in all of these photos was so genuine, and I had never felt something that genuine in probably 4 to 5 years. But yeah, I was definitely feeling it in that moment. My hair looks so wild in this photo, but I'll put the photo right here. This is when I announced that I was moving back to New Zealand again. And it's really weird because I think now we've kind of come like full circle from that moment. I showed you guys the photo from when I first announced I was moving to New Zealand after high school. It was very broken, very sad. And then this photo was taken of me summer after my DTS, and I don't know, that photo makes me really happy because I was happy. And when I posted it, I wasn't hiding anything and I wasn't pretending like that was it, that was me, that was real. Again, there were definitely things that I was still working through, but like that was the first time I had really smiled like that in such a long time, which is refreshing. This was a selfie, and I never, nothing against them, nothing against people who do them, but I never take selfies. I'm really not a huge fan of them. Okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but I was dressed up really cute for a wedding that I knew I was going to see Sam at. Sam is my boyfriend, if you guys didn't know that. But I knew Sam was gonna be there, and I was really excited because I was getting all dressed up and all nice, and I was like, yes, like I'm about to slay on these people at this wedding, and Sam's gonna be there and he's gonna see me, and there's not gonna be any denying that this boy likes me, which still at the time I didn't even know if he liked me, but like, shoot your shot, sister, keep praying about it. I got ready, I felt really good, and then I was super stoked because Sam was gonna be at the wedding and I got to see him, and I was like, yeah, everybody what's up, because Sam doesn't even know I like him. Obviously it worked, everyone. So all I'm saying is go to a wedding, get really good looking, and then the boy will have no choice but to like you. That's not true. It didn't go down like that at all. There was a lot of praying and a lot of patience, okay everyone? I wish I could say it was that easy. This photo doesn't have that many likes, but I've come to a point in my life where I just post photos because I like to post them and it's not about likes. But that's me learning to skate. That's me now. This is who I am. Behind that photo, I was hanging out with my friend Paige Luann Langley, okay? And we were having a freaking blast. Am I that good at skating? Yeah, well, I'm not amazing. But hence here, see her? That's my skateboard. And we're learning, we're getting better every day. Maybe insert a couple clips. Boop, boop. Me learning to skate, okay? I'm learning, I'm getting better. Today, things are not perfect. The photos you see on Instagram, I just wanna give a quick reminder to everyone that you see these photos and you think people are being honest. The truth is they really aren't, okay? They just really aren't. You can never see what's actually going on in someone's brain through an Instagram post. So maybe we just stop the comparison game, because if you were comparing yourself to me when I looked really happy on Instagram, but in reality in here was really sad, then you're doing nothing but hurting yourself, because like, what are you really comparing yourself to? Some idea of who you think I am? Yeah, not a great idea, because that's not even who I really am. That's not even really what I'm struggling with. This video was basically just to say, hey, let's stop comparing ourselves to one another on social media, because you never really know what's going on in someone else's brain. And as we just learned, the girl who looked really happy in her yellow sweatshirt was actually really sad, and she was really unhappy. Now that girl's much happier and she cares a lot less about her Instagram. But I like to make these videos because it helps people to get insight into me, and not only into me but into real life. The vlogs are fun, guys, but let's do deeper stuff, you know? Let me talk about what's really going on in my life and in my heart. Maybe stay off Instagram for the next week? Who knows? We'll see, I guess. But you guys could try it. Like, maybe try being honest on your social media, be more intentional with your social media, and don't just use it to glorify yourself. And stop comparing yourself to others on social media. If you find yourself scrolling and like subconsciously comparing yourself, maybe it's time to take a break. And that's it for today's video. I filmed this really quickly, and I just hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope maybe you were able to get a little insight into me and into my life, and also into the truth behind a lot of social media accounts, because I know I'm not the only person who was lying through my teeth on every single photo on Instagram in high school. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I think I'm gonna start posting, I think every Friday or every Saturday, but I hope to make my videos regular because that's better for everyone and it's better for me. So hold me accountable to that. I'll see you guys next Friday or Saturday, okay? Bye!